Good evening and welcome to the 538th episode of Travel It Radio. I'm your host, Dan Schlossberg, and we are in the 13th season of Travel It Radio, the show that lets you enjoy the comforts, the pleasures of travel from the comfort of your armchair. Every week at this time, we talk to people representing destinations, hotels, airlines, railroads, car rental companies, and others in the world of travel and hospitality, from authors and bloggers to broadcasters and publicists. If it's got anything to do with travel, it's got everything to do with Travel It Radio. And my guest tonight is my longtime friend and colleague, Cindy Cockburn, veteran travel publicist and writer, whose new Travels with CC column starts this weekend in Bay Magazine, published by the Tampa Bay Times. Welcome, Cindy, to Travel It Radio. Years of trying to get you on the air.
I'm your favorite publicist, but I've always, for a passion, been writing about travel for 25 years.
Well, better late than never. And first of all, congratulations upon your new column, which I hear starts in the March edition of Bay Magazine, a handsome publication produced by the Tampa Bay Times. Tell us a little about it.
You know, I've lived here many years, and the Pulitzer Prize-winning daily newspaper called the Tampa Bay Times has this gorgeous lifestyle magazine, you know, a travel writer's dream to be published in it. And I am debuting my Travels with CC column. It'll be monthly, and I'm thrilled. It's mailed to a VIP audience into a affluent demographic here throughout Tampa Bay.
That's terrific. You're based, obviously, in the Tampa Bay area on Florida's Gulf Coast, in the heart of booming downtown St. Petersburg. Are you going to focus exclusively on that area in your column, or with Travels with CC, go beyond that?
Well, you know, my heart is here in Tampa. I'm a New Yorker, but I've embraced the sunshine. I love Tampa. And with the best airport in the country right here in Tampa, I'm thrilled to announce that I'll be writing about local, regional, national, and international destinations. I'm going to be including a variety of like what's hot, what's trendy around the globe, everything from updates on resorts, hotels, spas, cruise lines. My favorite thing to do is I'll examine a bucket list destination every issue.
That's really good. And like me, you are a book author.
Well, that's not me, but I just saw that picture, Dan, but it's okay. Another blonde in your life.
No, it's not you.
It's okay. You know what? I really enjoyed producing 2 Frommer's Guides to Florida. And I did a Paradise Without a Passport column during the pandemic. And I wrote about destinations that you could drive to. You know, you can go over the Skyway Bridge and go south to Sarasota, continue on down to Naples, across over to the East Coast. And during the pandemic days for my Paradise Without a Passport column, I wrote about the Fabulous Breakers on the Longboat Key Club in Sarasota, Miami during Art Basel in December.
That's terrific. You're also a publicist who has represented top destinations, attractions, hotels, resorts, spas, and real estate developers. How long have you lived in St. Pete?
Well, in St. Pete, 10 years, because I was initially brought to Florida by the Starwood Resorts and Worldwide organization, and they brought me to Innisbrook Resort. As you know, it's a magnificent, very well-known golf course known for their PGA tournaments. I started my own business after I worked at the Innisbrook Resort, after I left Starwood. Started my own company 23 years ago. And when I started pitching new clients, I unbelievably landed the historic, beautiful Vinoy Resort and Hotel in St. Pete. And also at the same time, I was hired to handle the international publicity for the opening of the new Dali Museum building. And it was really cool. It was a surreal date when we opened. It was 1/11/11. And, I've been here ever since. Love it. Walkable St. Pete is amazing.
Well, Visit Florida reports tourism is back and the facts support it since there's a big boom in international visitors. How many visitors does the state get per year?
Unbelievably, it's about 130, 135 million a year, projected to go up every year. But what I love is the fact, probably because we have the number one airport in the country internationally, we've seen an increase of 8.3 million overseas visitors.
That's terrific. Well, tell us about the Jimmy Buffett Memorial Highway, which I understand runs from Ferdinand Beach to mile marker 0 in Key West. You love to tell people in the Tampa Bay area all the way down to Sarasota is on fire. So please tell our audience why, as well as the Jimmy Buffett Highway.
Oh my goodness. I have just, this is such joy. Jimmy Buffett's original guitarist, Roger Bartlett, lives in St. Pete. And I found out that there not only has the state embraced, and there he is in the convertible in the blue, but found out that beloved Jimmy Buffett, the memorial to Jimmy Buffett will be this wonderful renaming of that highway going to Key West.
Right. Well, new areas are booming all over the place. Hyde Park used to be the cha-cha-cha area, and five-star luxury hotels like Edition are now open, along with great new restaurants like Boulan Brasserie.
And I know that you said one of your favorite restaurants is Bern's Steakhouse.
Yes.
And you're not going to believe this. You called it an oldie but a goodie, and indeed it did open in 1956. But you would not believe they've just recently renovated. It's magnificent. They renovated, the new menu has expanded, the history, it's still luxurious, and it has the largest wine collection in the country with 750,000 bottles of wine. They're famous for their upstairs decadent dessert room, famous for years for all of their James Beard awards. And it just continues to be so popular. If you don't make reservations more than a month in advance, you'll be very disappointed. But you know what they did, Dan? The owners of Bern's opened across the street from them a hotel called the Epicurean. And it's just booming, that downtown Tampa street. But the newest and most popular area today, it's called Water Street. And Water Street is a brand new niche district, very cha-cha, I call it, where there's the new 5-star Edition hotel. And that Boulan Brasserie is a fabulous cafe with, jazz on the weekends. But my favorite place of all, of a steakhouse, and you'll have to come down with me, Eddie V's is a steakhouse. Eddie V's is across from the International Mall, and they have jazz every night and fabulous steakhouse.
What town is that?
In Tampa.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
Mm-hmm.
And Miami is always popular in Florida. Orlando is exploding. Naples survived Hurricane Ian, and the Ritz-Carlton there has reopened after renovation. But why is the Florida West Coast the most desirable place to live, work, play, and retire?
It's consistently getting awards. Like I said, the Tampa Bay International Airport is thriving. Sir Richard Branson came in person, and he launched an inaugural direct flight from London, between Tampa and London. And I was blessed because a girlfriend took me to see Adele in London in Hyde Park, and all we had to do was get on the flight, and they hand you pajamas and champagne, and next thing you know, you're across the pond.
That's great. That sounds good. Well, what's happening in St. Pete? Aren't there more than a half dozen arts districts with plenty of outdoor cafes and restaurants, not to mention a cross bay ferry that connects St. Pete with Tampa?
Absolutely. The Cross Bay Ferry is really cool. It has, let's see, it takes about an hour and a half, so you can cross between downtown St. Pete and downtown Tampa. And the fun thing is our championship hockey team is in Tampa, has won the Stanley Cup. But you can get on the ferry if you live in St. Pete, and you can be transported over to the game in Tampa. So it's been a lot of fun.
Well, that's great. I know that the Tampa Bay Rays are going to build a new stadium, but it probably won't be ready till what, 2028?
Right. And even doing my homework to be on the air today with you, there's no definitive date. There's no definitive time. It's still unfolding. It's a community effort. The exciting thing is baseball is here to stay.
Well, let's talk on a little bit of a dour note. I remember visiting a world-class Holocaust museum in St. Pete. Please share.
It is really, really special. The museum has been embraced since it opened, and it's right downtown in the heart of St. Pete, right off of Central. And it opened in 1998, and the mission is to spread awareness. And there's an exhibition called History and Heritage, and there's actually a boxcar in the centerpiece of the museum. And it's a wonderful place to visit. It's a wonderful mission.
I want to tell our viewers you are tuned to Travel It Radio now in our 13th season with Dan Schlossberg and usually Roger Noriega, who is off tonight, but he'll be back next week. Check us out on iTunes, LinkedIn, Instagram, or the Travel It Radio Facebook page, among other places. And we are talking tonight with my friend, Cindy Cockburn. She's talking about St. Pete, and she's from New York. She's been everywhere. And the author of the new column, Travels with Cece. Okay, on a cheerier note, the Mahaffey Theater attracts major stars, from Sting to Bernadette Peters. Here to add?
So I am a showbiz girl from New York City. So let me tell you the joy of living in St. Pete downtown, and a few blocks away is this magnificent theater called the Mahaffey Theater, right on the water. And it's the home of the Florida Orchestra. And I was just privileged to have been their publicist for many years. And Tony Bennett was here, and Sting was here, and he's coming back. And then the fabulous Bernadette Peters. But not just the Mahaffey Theater. St. Pete really embraces the performing arts. So you have the Mahaffey Theater on one end of town. And then when you come back up by the beautiful historic Vinoy Resort right up 5th, we have the gorgeous historic Palladium Theater. And then, having been the publicist there for quite a few years, the Palladium Theater is home to a lot of jazz concerts. And Saturday night, we just had a salute to Sarah Brightman by a Russian crossover soprano. I mean, there's an eclectic, wonderful, vibey feel to St. Pete with the performing arts. And then downstairs from the Palladium, there's a smaller venue called the Side Door. And we even had Grammy Award-winning Kurt Elling, jazz great, here. So St. Pete is happening with the arts, visually and the performing arts, to say the least.
In your new column, you're going to talk about what's hot besides the weather. To me, the number one attraction has to be the beaches, the waterfront, the views of the Gulf of Mexico. Do you agree?
I agree. I mean, I'm a Jersey girl. Yes, I worked in New York City, grew up in, but I lived on the beach in Jersey, Ocean Grove, Asbury Park. I loved the beach, lived on the beach. So of course I love the beaches. The millions of others around the world come here. We worship the beach. Sunsets are a tradition. And in the beginning, 20 years ago, we always heard about Clearwater Beach, the wide sandy beaches, Clearwater Beach. But there's 18 beach towns up and down what's called Pinellas County. And then the number one thing you have to do when you go to Clearwater is go to this tiny little fabulous place to eat called Frenchie's, where you get a grouper sandwich, put your feet in the sand, and it's been there for over 30 years.
Sounds pretty good. Well, coming up in just over 2 weeks is the Sarasota, actually a little more than 2 weeks, Sarasota Film Festival. That's going to start in April. Tell us about that and what else is happening in the Sarasota area, and especially Siesta Key.
Well, where do I begin? So my heart is with showbiz. So the film festival has my heart. And having welcomed stars for years and done publicity for the film festival, Kevin Bacon was here and never wanted to go back. You name it, our film festival attracts celebrities. And, yes, we love Tribeca Film Festival. We're New Yorkers. Yes, we love Toronto. But come to Sarasota, check into the Longboat Key Club and Resort in Sarasota. And that's where all the celebrities stay. And then the theater is on Main Street. So Sarasota Film Fest has been going on for years, every April. And it's just a joy. It gets better and better. Very fun.
You told me your area is in the middle of a real estate boom. So what's the story with the Soda Residences and Hotel, the first Main Street property in downtown Sarasota with a luxury condo on top?
This is a really, really cool project. So Soda Residences and Hotel is a tower, meaning it's going to be a 16-story high building. There will be 35 residences where you can live in your luxury condo right on downtown Main Street. And yes, below the residences, you can live in the first hotel, boutique hotel with 120 rooms, right a block from the theater I'm talking about to go to the film festival. And the boutique hotel will be a tapestry collection by Hilton. And there'll be a restaurant and lounge on the 5th floor. It's just breaking ground now. And what we're finding is people that want to live there are enjoying the fact that they can say to their family and friends from all over, come and see us, but you can stay down in the hotel. So it's been a great selling factor, It's been fantastic. But living and working and playing downtown is really very popular right now.
Well, speaking of luxury condos, Cindy, downtown St. Pete has something called Reflection Walk Everywhere. What's that all about?
So in downtown St. Pete, you're 20 minutes from the beaches. And what's happening is all of the beaches with the, gorgeous Gulf of Mexico and beaches, a lot of people are finding that they're enjoying the vibrancy of walking, biking, living downtown St. Pete. So these wonderful local developers from St. Pete decided to build a condominium called Reflection. It's almost done. The first of the 88 residents will be moving in this summer. It's in the heart of downtown St. Pete on 3rd Avenue North. It overlooks Mirror Lake. But the beauty of it is the amenity. It'll be the only condo with a rooftop pool and a private club up there where we will have pop-up chefs, and there's tons of restaurants downtown St. Pete. So if you don't want to walk or bike downtown to the restaurants, to Beach Drive where all the outdoor cafes are, if you own at Reflection, there will be transportation for all of the residents. You can tell I'm excited because I live right downtown St. Pete. We walk everywhere.
Well, Travel Rich Radio is big on transportation, especially things that run on tracks. So is the Tampa streetcar a good way to get around?
Well, I'm the St. Pete girl, but my brother tells me, who loves Tampa, he does that streetcar. He took it in Ybor City, which is another area that's booming, he enjoyed it so much. That streetcar connects between downtown Tampa and the Channel Side District in Tampa and the historic Ybor City District. And the best news is it's free. Just hop on and off.
Fabulous. I love boat rides too, and there must be a myriad of choices from sunset dinner cruises to sightseeing trips, dolphin cruises. Let's hear.
Well, there are so many choices when you come here, and the visitor bureaus here are fantastic in giving you updates on how to explore by the water, by boat, so many different types of boats. But again, it's just so fabulous to hop on that ferry. It's just a joy. Instead of being, going over the bridges, the ferry is really fantastic.
And you mentioned Ybor City. Isn't it kind of a little Havana right in the middle of Tampa?
It really is. Back in the early 1900s, Ybor City, which is this little niche of an area in the heart of Tampa, used to be the scene of the most cigar factories, Cuban cigar factories. That area is charming, historic. It's so popular. Mainly, you might have heard about the Columbia restaurant there. It's the best Cuban food in town. They have this famous 1905 salad that they come over to your table and they make the salad, and you can't get enough of it. But it's really booming. That area is booming. There's hotels, there's new restaurants. So Tampa's got a lot. Tampa's got a lot to offer.
And what are some of the major attractions? Obviously, Busch Gardens has to be one of them.
Okay, don't laugh at me, but when I was younger, we went to Busch Gardens because there was free beer. Let's face it, right? When we were in college, 20s. But at this age, all I wanted for my birthday last year, I said to my son, I want to go feed the giraffes. In Busch Gardens, for those of you that don't know, it's this gigantic, popular theme park. Yes, you'll find rides, and yes, you'll find a variety of, attractions, but it's like going to Africa without going to Africa. You can go out for my birthday, you can go out on a private Jeep, gather your family and your friends, and you go out and you feed the giraffes. There were photographs for a lifetime. I love it. I just love going back again and again and again.
And as a huge baseball fan, I know baseball spring training is now in full swing with teams playing preseason exhibition games in Clearwater, Dunedin, Tampa, Sarasota, Bradenton, and other places all around your area. But the big news, we mentioned it, has to be the upcoming new stadium for the Rays, because they were talking about relocating a year or so ago, weren't they?
It was, oh my goodness, for years now, the hot debates. I literally went to a press conference at the Dali Museum where the Rays announced, Dan, only you will remember this, they were going to split the season between St. Pete and Montreal. I mean, there was every scenario was offered to move the stadium to Tampa, to move it to Canada. But guess what? It's staying. We're thrilled. And I apologize, I don't have details yet because it's unfolding every minute. All the details are unfolding. So stay tuned.
The whole area is nicknamed Champa Bay because you have so many champions, right?
Oh my gosh. So Super Bowl was wild when we won. And my son lives right near the Tampa Stadium. And what joy it was to be in on the Tom Brady win with the Super Bowl. And at the same time, our Lightning won the Stanley Cup. So, and then we've got our baseball. So yes, we're really affectionately known as Champa Bay around the country.
I'm glad you mentioned the word lightning because am I correct in saying the Tampa Bay area has more thunderstorms than any place in the country?
Oh, you're not supposed to say that.
Yeah, but
it's true.
A lot of people like that. It's exciting.
It's true. It's true. It's true. And the funny thing about if you come here, like I remember I was working in Tampa. My mother called me from St. Pete. It can be raining in Tampa, not raining in St. Pete. It's that tropical climate, right?
Oh, yeah.
Lots of sun, mostly sunny, you know that. Most
Oh, I do know
consecutive
that.
number of sunny days.
Oh, I know, I know. So what can readers expect from Travels with Cece in the April and May issues of Bay Magazine?
Oh my gosh. So I can't wait to explore my bucket list. My bucket list is a personal joy of exploring this private yacht called the Sea Dream. Have you heard about the Sea Dream?
No,
So
but it sounds good.
that's picture a luxury yacht with only 100 passengers, and it's all about embracing yachting. It's not large, it's the exact opposite of large cruise lines, but it takes you to exotic ports that you can't get into with larger ships, meaning when you go to Monaco to the Grand Prix, the Sea Dream takes you right to the port. I've been on the Sea Dream in the Caribbean. I've been on the Sea Dream from flying into Rome, going along the Riviera, ending in Barcelona. I love it. But for my column, for the first issue, I'm talking about the fact that the Firestone Grand Prix is here March 8th through 10th at St. Pete. But for car lovers, if you missed it in St. Pete, why not go to Monaco? I tell you how to explore Monaco, where to stay. I just said cruising is so popular. Smaller luxury cruise lines are so popular that the Ritz-Carlton Yacht Collection debuted. You've probably heard about that. They've launched 21 new voyages. And in the world of travel, you know, all eyes are on Paris for July for the Olympics. I talk about the fact that you can go to the Olympics, but then go and explore the Champagne region. There's a brand new 5-star Royal Champagne Hotel and Spa that's opening. It's the first luxury wellness destination, and they've teamed up with the French beauty brand Clarins. That's exciting. The bucket list for the next issue, I talk about safari adventures. I interviewed three couples from St. Pete that just got back from a dream safari, and they booked it through a gentleman named John Harvey. He's from London, but he fell in love with St. Pete, so he moved his company here, and the company is called Opulent Africa. So if you're interested in a safari, I talk about how to do it through his company.
Wow, that sounds great.
I know.
How can viewers learn more about you and your various enterprises?
Well, Cindy Cockburn is on Facebook and LinkedIn, and I can be reached by my email, which is cindy.cockburn.communications@gmail.com. But Facebook, LinkedIn.
You're all there.
I
Our
love
guest tonight, our wonderful guest tonight has been Cindy Cockburn, longtime friend, straight from the beautiful Tampa Bay area. Thank you for being our guest on Travel Itch Radio.
Thank you, everybody.
And now that we're on the cusp of another baseball season, this is the perfect time to place an advanced order with Amazon for my new book, Home Run King, The Remarkable Record of Hank Aaron. And this year, by the way, is the 50th anniversary of Hank Aaron breaking Babe Ruth's legendary home run record. Dusty Baker, by the way, wrote the foreword of the book. And that's it for this edition of Travel Itch Radio. Now, this is Dan Schlossberg speaking, also for the absent Roger Noriega, saying thank you for your time this time. Until next time. Next week, same time, same place, we will talk to travel and culinary writer Kurt Jacobson. For now, good night and stay safe.